Hello everyone and welcome back to game week 4 of the 25-26 Slater and Gordon Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, for Hull and East Yorkshire against league leaders Nottinghamshire. Should be a fantastic game. Let's go through the squads quickly before we bring you the action live, starting with Hull and East Yorkshire. I think anyone that's tuned into my commentary knows I'm somewhat of a curse to Hull and East Yorkshire. Every time I've watched them, they have flattered to deceive almost. Picking up just 1 point yesterday against Manchester City and falling to defeat earlier today at the hands of Manchester United. They have Luke Brennan, Tyler McClelland, Callum Jefferson, Joel Rothery and Harrison Smith, their coach Lee Brennan. And the league leaders, Nottinghamshire, looking to regain top of the table, which they will do with a win. I think even a draw. I'll show you the live league standings in just a second. They have Sam Langley, Adam Langley, Matt Hadfield, Leighton G, Kieran Wade, and new recruit James Licorice. As promised, the live league standings, due to that more favourable goal difference, even a draw here would be enough for them to leapfrog Manchester United in first. But it is really, really interesting viewing at the top, at the bottom. You can see what a potential 3 points does for Hull and East Yorkshire. It would see them take over Manchester City in 10th. As we know, certainly these two positions here, 11th and 12th, result in automatic relegation. But of course, as is the case with the Championship division, disregard the words Premiership at the top. You are invited to attend the Championship playoff, which is scheduled for Saturday, June 6th. So the squads are in the centre. Tyler McClelland and Matt Hadfield, the two goalkeepers. For those that have been tuning in, you would have probably seen our new gadget that has the functionality of replays and annotation. And I suspect, to show it off, as has always been the case, Tyler McClelland is probably going to fire the ball straight down here. Let's see if it's directly on my line upon kickoff. Just trying to get that immediate territory in the opposition half. Goes the opposite way, certainly more congested. It's fired straight towards Matt Hadfield in the Nottinghamshire goal. So the squads that start, Kieran Wade puts early pressure on Luke Brennan. Hull and East Yorkshire have Luke Brennan, Tyler McClelland, Harrison Smith and Callum Jefferson. League leaders Nottinghamshire have Matt Hadfield, Adam Langley, Sam Langley and Kieran Wade at their disposal. Nottinghamshire coming off the back of a 0-0 draw with West Bromwich Albion baggy, so they'll be looking to get back to winning ways. It's a 2-on-1 is awarded by our central official, Pete Westmoreland. So a good opportunity for Nottinghamshire to open the score. An indirect free kick. I suspect Sam Langley will come over to take. Just has a switches roles with his brother Adam. Fired off Luke Brennan into Adam Langley across the box. Tyler McClelland constantly closing down the space. He relieves pressure. There's nice width from Callum Jefferson, who tries to flick it into the centre to Harrison Smith. Just vacates the space in time. Is he going to try and win his side corner ball. Got a lot of pace on that. Invites Sam Langley to engage. Little bit of a clip from Sam Langley. Hull and East Yorkshire are awarded direct free kick as Tyler McClellan just positions Harrison Smith to try and take territory in the Nottinghamshire box. Harrison Smith's going to have to drop off. At the conclusion of today's action, this is the penultimate game of the weekend. We will be running our Swizzles Game Week Awards, where you can vote on your standout player, unsung hero, team and fantasy team of the weekend. I'm sure many of these players currently competing on this court will feature. Nottinghamshire very efficiently going about their business. Haven't been overly spectacular, but they've been efficient, incredibly hard to beat and break down, even score against for that matter. And we've seen Teesside Steel fall to, I think, consecutive defeats, having on 31 games unbeaten in the Championship division. Game week 4 of the 25-26 campaign has been their undoing. But if you thought the race at the top was entertaining, the battle at the bottom for many is even more so. Tyler McClelland. It's a strange, very condensed shape from Hull and East Yorkshire, which Nottinghamshire have no difficulties dealing with. Potentially want to see Harrison Smith wide on this left-hand wing as you view it. Sam Langley pressuring away. It's a good 50-50 battle between Sam Langley and Tyler McClelland. You bypass one Langley brother, you're met with another. This time, Tyler McClelland deemed too aggressive. So a free kick for Nottinghamshire. Through to Kieran Way, doesn't quite have the venom to trouble the defensive pair of Hull and East Yorkshire. Sam Langley to take. These two players very close to one another. One of them's going to have to move out the way, which they do. Ricochets kindly, but well dealt with by Tyler McClelland. Looked almost a certain goal, but dealt with brilliantly by the Scotland international. Just flicks it out to Callum Jefferson. Into the box, dealt with by Matt Hadfield. Into the 180. Blocked by Matt Hadfield. We know that he can score them. He's done so in game weeks 3 and game weeks 4 of the championship. I'm a little bit jealous I haven't been able to commentate on one of his spectacular strikes. Such a good communicator is Tyler McClelland, constantly conversing with these players, telling them where to position, how to position. Contact off the ball. Adam Langley and Harrison Smith colliding with one another. Goes in the favourite of Nottinghamshire. Once again into the 180 of Tyler McClelland. He can connect with a ball on that occasion. Wide of the left-hand post. Matt Hadfield has to be so careful where he places that ball. Again, 180 switch of play, took a very crucial touch of Adam Langley. Otherwise, that would have presented a clear goal scoring opportunity to Callum Jefferson, who's going to have an attempt now. Adam Langley does well to keep it in play. Such a sensible player, reads the game so well. Struck by Harrison Smith, but never quite had the initial shape or angle to send it goal bound. Ricochets to Kieran Wade, who should be facing the other way, as he just dribbles it into the side of Luke Brennan. Flicked across the box. Just took a top touch off Tyler McClelland. Sam Langley with the resulting corner ball into Matt Hadfield, who's up for the first time this game, 10 minutes in. Just back and forth looking for that gap. It looked like it was there, but Tyler McClelland across to close. Danger still present, going from one side of the goal to the other. Matt Hadfield's on the edge, hugged by Harrison Smith. Kieran Wade, very wide in the top left-hand corner of your screen. And to Matt Hadfield, plays it into his own 180, but isn't able to connect. Out for a whole ball. McClelland. Weaving from left to right, finds Harrison Smith. Slightly predictable in his engagement. Swing and a miss, and Tyler McClelland makes contact on the follow through. No malice. So whilst I understand the warning from Pete Westmoreland, it was just one of those, the ball just slips away from you, and Adam Langley knows where to position his chair to win himself and his side free kicks. Callum Jefferson, strangely, opts to just leave that. I think the front bumper over to Harrison Smith could have been on, or even back to Tyler McClelland. Matt Hadfield. Strange positioning from Kieran Wade, always facing the opposition goal. Typically wingers always like to play in reverse, but he almost exclusively drives onto it. "13 minutes played, nothing to separate these two as of yet." Tyler McClelland with a rare bit of attacking territory. Substitute signalled. Will be Adam Langley coming off. Leighton G coming on in his place. Once again, that tendency to 180 it. Somehow makes his way over to Callum Jefferson as Sam Langley just readjusts in defence. This has been the familiar battle of this game. Sam Langley and Tyler McClelland into the 180. Leighton G far too narrow, needs to be much more around this sort of area. And he just has a tendency to drop into these areas. Not quite sure what the stoppage of play is for. Tyler McClelland will have the sideline ball nonetheless. Across the court, ricochets off Kieran Wade. The ball fired into my commentary gantry. Frustratingly so, I think, from Tyler McClelland. It was a needless 2-on-1 to give away. But they've weathered the storm so far. Kieran Wade receives. Sam Langley into Leighton G. Once again, Tyler McClellan to take. It's better from Callum Jefferson just to angle it towards the Nottinghamshire goal. And the appeals for a corner ball are heard by the match officials. You can see Kieran Wade has been taken off. On comes James Licorice. Was very close to Sam Langley on that occasion. Good pick off. A strange engagement to wait or try and control it. Strange approach also. Obviously that gap is probably the one, but it needs Callum Jefferson to be far more advanced. Approaching the final minute of the first half. Very little of note, to be perfectly honest, from the action. Nottinghamshire, as many would have expected, the more attack-minded of the two, more possession, but Luke Brennan hasn't had any real difficulty dealing with their forward line. But likewise, Matt Hadfield hasn't had any real efforts towards his goal. Out for a Nottinghamshire ball. Maybe one last chance in this first half to register a chance. Into Leighton G, blocked by Tyler McClelland. James Licorice doesn't have enough width to wrap his chair around the ball. Again, I think Harrison Smith needs to be a little bit braver, just picking it off, pushing it back down to Tyler McClelland, who's trying to do everything himself. Over to James Licorice. Maybe a little lack of anticipation and readiness from several players on the court. Over to James Licorice, pushes it into the centre, and that will be the last action of the first half. A huge thank you to everyone that's tuned in. I don't think we've clipped a great deal of events from that first half. Let's see what's clipped. So it was that opportunity at a corner, very close, and then Sam Langley at the back post. His eyes lit up. Let's just go back. Slow that down ever so slightly. You can see they came together initially. There was two gaps there for Sam Langley to aim at. If you look, there is the gap there, sorry, between them. And then there is the gap there between them. But Tyler McClelland almost gave him the eyes and closed the gap. And see it out of play. Beyond that, not a great deal to note from the first 20 minutes of action, but a huge thank you to everyone that has tuned in. I will be back very shortly for the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the second half of Hull and East Yorkshire versus Nottinghamshire in Game Week 4, the 25-26 Slater and Gordon Championship. You're joining myself, Ryan Tibble, for the action live, referencing the first 20 minutes. Not much of note, certainly no goals as the scoreline suggests, but not a great deal of chances either beyond one Sam Langley opportunity via a corner kick. He has possession now into Leighton G, exchanging on the edge, fires an effort into Joel Rothery, who's been introduced at the break. And this is much better from Nottinghamshire. Didn't see any of this real intensity or attacking intent across the first half. Nice exchange as it's flicked towards Nottinghamshire's half. So to go through the squads, Joel Rothery, Tyler McClelland, Luke Brennan and Callum Jefferson. For Hull and East Yorkshire, and for Nottinghamshire, Matt Hadfield, Sam Langley, Leighton G and Kieran Wade. As mentioned, even a draw here would be enough for Nottinghamshire to regain top position in the standings, but they won't want to settle. At the bottom, 3 points for Hull and East Yorkshire could be huge as they look to claw themselves away from those jeopardy spots at the bottom. I can see Jay Pixton of Manchester City is tuning in, hoping that Nottinghamshire get the job done, which will relieve some pressure off Manchester City and ensure that come the conclusion of Game Week 4, they are not within the danger zone, and that danger zone being 11th position and 12th. Leighton G into Sam Langley, tried to flick it out to Kieran Wade. Again, that tendency to drive onto the ball really restricts his options. Maybe he isn't overly comfortable playing in reverse. A 2-on-1 though, awarded for Nottinghamshire. Sam Langley to take the resulting indirect free kick out to Kieran Wade across the box. Leighton G attacks, unselfish, a swing and a miss from Kieran Wade. It's better, but it's going to need to be even more accurate than that if you're going to trouble the Hull and East Yorkshire defence. Luke Brennan flicked out to Kieran Wade. It is a very strange tendency to never be in reverse. The only option you have is to swipe it back into your central player or dribble it towards the opposition goal. Look at Leighton G, always positioned with his face towards his own goalkeeper, being Matt Hadfield. The two designated goalkeepers battling away there. Here the metal on metal, but a fair battle, which is won by Tyler McClelland. He has Luke Brennan in support to his right, cut out by Sam Langley. He's going to try and weave his way round the senior Scotland international. clearly on court A. Here on court B, Sam Langley patiently waiting for that gap to present itself. It's nice to see Kieran Wade now in reverse. Better. Kieran Wade in reverse. It is much better. Obviously, Tyler McClellan so good at cutting out those passes, but the right intent nonetheless. That gives Kieran Wade the option to come down here in reverse, look to switch the play here, or even go back to it. He's central player. This is that channel. And they're going to want to capitalise down. Good work from Tyler McClellan. Pushes it down to Leighton G. Nice pick off back to Sam Langley, but the positioning of Tyler McClellan is brilliant. He knows he can't get to that ball, so just puts his chair in a position where he knows Sam Langley wants to. It's a miracle that his batteries last the entirety of a game, Tyler McClellan. Can cover every inch of the court as the substitute is signalled for Nottinghamshire. Once again, one Langley for the other. Adam coming on, Sam coming off. Down to Kieran Wade. Flick to Leighton G. Just takes it into the dribble. Surely going to play for the corner. Brennan and Wade battling away, just flicked off the front bumper of Kieran Wade, then likewise off Luke Brennan. It's good work from the Nottinghamshire number 17, who I suspect is going to get a chance here because that invites the pressure of Luke Brennan there. Switch of play. I don't know if there is the pace or the power. Luke Brennan needs to be much more wide there. That tendency to be drifting into the centre restricts the space and the opportunity. Adam Langley patiently waits for his teammates to present themselves. Maybe playing for a corner. Into the box via Leighton G. A really assured effort, well dealt with by Tyler McClellan. Flicked off McClellan. So another opportunity for Nottinghamshire. Adam Langley, the only real clear option. Can't quite get the flick back to Leighton G. Leighton G's there, who he finds, uses his front bumper. Secondary effort from Adam Langley. I think he was caught in two minds as to whether to front bumper back to Leighton G or try and cross-field ball. That hesitation means it's of no real trouble to Hull and East Yorkshire. Into his 180, can't get the connection. Try and dribble his way round. Kieran Wade takes position on the alternate wing via Leighton G. Front bumpers into the 180. Ricochets kindly to Leighton G. That is when I want to see Leighton G looking for Kieran Wade here. Just firing it into a congested box. Won't ever amount to anything. Kieran Wade had all of this space here. Just shy of 32 minutes played. As the yellow card is shown to Tyler McClelland. He's been warned on several occasions. A very fiery player. So Adam Langley down to Leighton G to the 180. No one there to receive. Not quite sure where this game could go. 32.5 minutes played, nothing of any real quality that could give a side a reason to think they should be 1-0 up. At Hadfield into Leighton G, over to Luke Brennan. Nice pick off from Leighton G, capitalising crossfield ball to Kieran Wade. That's a brilliant passage of play. The best they've produced all game. It comes from that anticipation from Leighton G. Crossfield ball from Adam Langley. And the attempt from Kieran Wade. If we just go back to that. You can see it's that anticipation. Leighton G, front bumper, beautiful crossfield ball. It's just unfortunate that Kieran Wade isn't able to find the gap in and amongst that Hull and East Yorkshire defence. But they're knocking on the door. They've got 6 minutes left. Because whilst a draw here would put them back top of the table, they would be joint on points with Manchester United. If they want to regain that buffer to complement that game in hand, they're going to have to find a way to open the scoring. G squeezes it through. I do not know how that hasn't gone over the line. Across the face of goal. Hull and East Yorkshire just switched off for a second there. I have clipped it so we can re-watch it in a second, but that's two chances now for Nottinghamshire, which could have very easily seen them go a goal to the good. Again, Adam Langley, will he be looking for that gap through there? Leighton G really nicely positioned to prevent Tyler McClellan closing the gap through to Kieran Wade. Just can't get the timing to really trouble the Holly East Yorkshire number 10. But finally their attacking work seems to be coming off. Holly East Yorkshire have the kick in down to Callum Jefferson for a very rare touch. Leighton G and Adam Langley very close to one another there, and that's something that has been highlighted how quickly Tyler McClellan takes those set pieces, those kick-ins, those dead balls to catch the opposition unaware and set in. Back to Tyler McClellan. Advantage played, Adam Langley waiting for Leighton G to join him. See, GBG Saracens a goal to the good against Villa Rockets Lions. That would be a huge win for them, arguably their biggest all season. What an exciting team that is developing to be. Tyler McClellan all the way down to the alternate goalkeeper of Matt Hadfield. Nice assured pass, just cuts Callum Jefferson out. Once again, Leighton G and Adam Langley have this tendency to both be drawn into the centre. Escape the 2-on-1, but something they're going to want to iron out. 2 minutes remaining. Leighton G into Adam Langley, down to Kieran Wade. Exchanges and passes. Again, it's that tendency to drive onto the ball. Means he can't get in with his front bumper jump ahead of Tyler McClellan. You're just not afforded that option when your orientation is towards the goal you're shooting at. See, this is better, the positioning. Leighton G across the box. Adam Langley just capitalising on that 3 in the box rule, meaning Luke Brennan cannot advance any further forward. Looks as if GBG Saracens have got the win and 3 points on Court A. We're into the final minute here on Court B. I'd be hard-pressed not to vote Tyler McClellan as the player of the match. Hasn't in no way in an attacking sense, but his relentless work rate has prevented Nottinghamshire carving out the openings. And if they come away with a point, he has been the predominant reason, because Callum Jefferson's been isolated. The ball hasn't really got as far as Joel Rothery, certainly in this second half. And I would probably say a point is no less than they deserve, but they're going to be tested one last time via Kieran Wade. Again, that orientation hurting his options. Into Adam Langley, picks it off to Leighton G, cut out once again by Tyler McClellan, taken over by Luke Brennan as we tick over into additional time. Very cagey, closely contested game. The whistle is in the mouth of Pete Westmoreland. Surely the last action Gonna have to wait. One last bit of defence. Adam Langley. Back to Leighton G's, closed down, switches it out to Kieran Wade, and that is the last action of the game. A good point for Hull and East Yorkshire. And as mentioned, that point is still enough for Nottinghamshire to go back top of the table, joint on points with Manchester United, but that favourable goal difference, the majority of which was acquired in game week 1, sees them be top of the tree approaching game week 5. Let's just have a look at some of the clips from the game. I think this was one of the moments. The set piece. Adam Langley into Leighton G. So close, just needed that anticipation. Slow it down a little bit. It's a really nice passage of play. Leighton G firing it between. It's a good work from Joel Rothery, but it just needs that Kieran Wade to be a metre or more forward there. So unlucky they weren't able to score on that occasion. If we look at other events, we've got this one. Yeah, this was when Leighton G out to Adam Langley. Really nice play. Joel Rothery again with brilliant defending on the line. And then we have to go back to that one in the first half, the one that looked almost a certain goal for Sam Langley, but it was prevented brilliantly by Tyler McClelland, who read the advancement of the Nottinghamshire number 3 to ensure himself and his side come away with a point. But a huge thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Next up, the final game of Game Week 4, and I'll be calling the action of West Bromwich Albion Baggies and Leeds Dynamos.